Well, I was born in Germany, and my family came to this country in 1938 when I was 12 years old, and I knew all of 150 words in English, but arrived on a Thursday and went to school on the following Monday. Werner and I met in a young adults discussion group, and I guess he will tell you that I was not positively responsive to him for a long time for reasons that are fairly clear when you hear his background.
I was born in Germany. I grew up in Berlin. Lived there during the 30s and the war. After the war, managed in 1951 to emigrate to the United States, which, because of my background, I strived to get out of Germany. It was my priority. I had grown up with a father who was a Nazi party member, and as I remember, I joined the Jungvolk, and then at War's End, excuse me, at War's End, when I learned about the Holocaust and the general breakdown of society at that point, just turned me very much against the country, if I should put it that way. And it was fortunate that I was able to come to the United States, tried to get a date with her, and I was flatly rejected.
Politely,
but firmly rejected. And the reason for it, for her, and you should explain yourself.
It was totally inconceivable to me that I could ever date someone who came from Nazi Germany and was non-Jewish. It was absolutely inconceivable.
So a whole year went by, almost a year went by. We got to know each other a little bit more because of these social events. We did see each other, but eventually I managed to get a date, and then things slowly but steadily progressed from there.
I think there's much that I sensed that I wasn't conscious of in terms of his not just maturity, but more important, of his having dealt with extraordinarily trying circumstances during the war, and maybe even, or at least as much post-war, and that nonetheless there was an unquenchable spirit about him, and I think that is probably what came out more clearly, and then from there we went on.
We had seen one retirement home which we visited where friends lived, we'd been invited there for lunch, and that we were not very enthused about. We then visited Ingleside at King Farm, and were extremely impressed and got seriously thinking about it.
The openness, the high ceilings, the big windows, the light of the apartments, that was an absolutely strategic issue for us. It much more echoed having some contact, being in touch with the outside. Our
calendar of social calendar of with people that we have established a relationship with, as well as trying to reach out to new residents. It is so full. I mean, we can't possibly see everybody that we'd like to see.
We thought it would be a good idea if we had a short autobiography with photo of every resident, because it would give others a chance to get to know and find common points of interest or background. And because we are such a varied group, we thought this would be something that would be of value to everybody. This is the cover which one of our residents made. We have, among our population, we have a number who are artists, and then we have an introduction, And then we have the photo and the different life experiences of various residents. And it is wonderful to look through it and see what kind of lives other people have lived. And a number have found out that they went to the same school or lived in the same area. Ingleside here has turned out to be much more satisfying and rewarding and stimulating an environment than I dreamed of at the time when we gave up our home.